Tell me, what does the company do?
Pharma tech platform that is bridging the gap between manufacturers of good quality pharmaceutical products, hospitals, and pharmacies. And what we're doing is leapfrogging the fragmentation that happens in the supply chain for pharmaceuticals by creating these digital corridors of quality, access, and affordability for hospitals and pharmacies.
Yeah, but how did you hear about VI and like why did you apply?
Um, so those are very interesting questions. The first one, I heard about it, I saw it online, and it was an online ad or something. I think the previous event I watched it saw your pitch and was like, okay, this is interesting.
Like you can beat that.
I'm like, I went there, I should go there. I think the reason why I applied though was because we're developing this. So we at Drugstock we're developing this embedded finance solution for our supply chain technology, and one of the things we realized is that working with and partnering with someone like Visa would enable a lot of good things for the recipients of the product, and I think it's something that so far is beginning to play out and we're pursuing.
Nice, nice. I remember still like the very first time we applied also, and then going on to get the finals and win CEMEA, and then now seeing another Nigerian do the same thing, like really impressive. What role does technology play at Drugstock? Like, how does technology enable you provide your services and solutions?
I mean, technology is really the center of everything we do. The space that we operate in is one of the most fragmented logistics, fulfillment, or supply chain spaces. If you look at different verticals, pharma lags behind agriculture, food, oil and gas. Just in terms of that, how does your supply chain work? And there's so many barriers, middlemen, and all those crazy things that drive up prices, lead to externalities that you necessarily don't want. And for us, technology has been able to leapfrog some of these challenges, creating an end-to-end transparent means of understanding what is going through the supply chain, improving quality across. I mean, we're able to improve the quality by over 30% in terms of reduction of counterfeited and substandard medication that come into the supply chain over a period of time. We're also able to impact affordability for patients and consumers, and all these are due to the efficiencies that are gained from deploying technology within the space.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, we both sort of like work in spaces that are like still very informal and undigitized till today. And I mean, I know what the impact for us is in the context of farmers. So yeah, hearing you share the same story is definitely like relatable. When you think about the finals, right, happening right in the middle of TechCrunch Disrupt and being there in front of all those audiences. Ours was in Qatar, in the middle of the World Cup.
Okay.
I don't know if you can beat that, but but it's close. How do you think about like what do you look forward to? What do you hope to leverage? Like what do you hope like that experience provides for you?
So, I mean, first of all, well done. Congratulations again for winning, especially with the distraction of the World Cup.
I got to watch Messi play still.
You got to watch Messi. Oh, wow. Congratulations on that. I think for us, right, winning would, first of all, first and foremost, be a reflection on, the commitment of the team and the clients who have supported us on our journey. We'd be very excited to demonstrate that what we're building together is something that is worth celebrating and emulating all over the world, especially at TechCrunch. So that would be, a great like stamp along the milestones of things that the company has done, and but equally as important is getting to meet and understand the ecosystem that operates within Visa, understand how it thinks, understand how to bring a lot of that technology. Because as you're building, you know what I'm talking about, as you're building an ecosystem of technologies, oftentimes people look at it like, oh, you're going to build it all yourself, but a lot of it actually rely on infrastructure that is already there and existing, and seeking better ways to plug in and connect and provide that value further down the chain for everybody. So that's also what we are looking forward to, as well as meeting all the other contestants and just having a good time at Tech Disrupt.
What are your thoughts, like just looking at how Nigerian startups are like taking over the global phase. I mean, if you look at Africa as a whole, like the level of innovation happening, and I like to think about it as we're actually like solving real problems, right? What are your thoughts around just what's driving that process, and how do we keep that consistently growing?
So I think the famous Nigerian aggression that everybody talks about in the fintech space and in the tech space, and the sheer number of innovation that is coming out is only a reflection of the challenges that we see in our space. And I think that it's about time. It's a positive thing. I think there's a lot of when you look at similar big markets in levels of development, I think you see also the similar or same sort of evolution. And I think it's only natural. I think there's a lot that the emerging fintech markets can learn from established markets. There's a lot that established markets can learn from what we're doing here. And I think that, I mean, I'm Nigerian, but suffice it to say that we are a big population and we are young, we're very energetic. Everybody I know has 3 business ideas they're chasing or pursuing, and so I think it's only a reflection of, I've lived in different parts of the world, and I think it's only a reflection of what is actually happening here. The vivacity, the energy, just that never say die spirit on the streets of Nigeria just kind of make it inevitable that Nigeria will take over Sub-Saharan African fintech space, and Sub-Saharan African fintech space will take over African fintech space and global.
Final question, as you think around just like Visa's role in innovation in Africa as a whole and even globally, what's your thought around that process, and how do you hope to be able to integrate and leverage that? And I mean, just speaking from our example, right? Like today, that means like debit card for farmers. That means bringing them into like the financial ecosystem to accept other services, even outside what Thrive provides today. So how do you hope to be able to leverage that, and how do you view it as a whole?
So the question of financial inclusion, right, is a question that continues to bedevil a lot of Sub-Saharan Africa. I think that just bringing people into mainstream financial mechanisms and processes and ecosystems sort of creates that agency for a lot of people, patients, small healthcare businesses, and all that alike. So there's a lot of impact, by being brought into that financial inclusionary space. But the second thing that is equally just as important is that once you've been brought into the space, enabling financial movements and the underlying rails that underpin that. And one of the things that I always look for when I'm looking for a partner is it's not really about pitching your ideas to them. It's really about what are they trying to do? What direction are they moving in? And you can see from the deliberate steps that Visa is taking that the way they're trying to shape the ecosystem sort of fits into that space that Sub-Saharan Africa is developing with tech and fintech especially, because in the next 15 years, I think you're not going to find like brick and mortar companies and tech companies. Everybody's going to be a tech company. Absolutely. And everybody's going to have some level of fintech service. And I think that, the way Visa is thinking and moving ahead there, right there with the founders trying to design what the future looks like. And I think that's what I'm drawn to and what I'm most excited about with the space. It's not really about how much resources you have to deploy, but the way you're thinking about it. And I think Visa is right on cue with that. I'm excited to be part of the ecosystem.
Hey, that makes sense. I mean, this is like wishing you all the best as you get to the finals. Nigeria is rooting for you. I can't say I'm rooting for you because I'm going to be judging, but like Nigeria is rooting for you.
No pressure.
All right,
no pressure.
all the best, man.